Hello! Welcome to the first lesson. Here is what you can see if you open 3ds Max for the first time. Viewports are using the biggest part of the screen. By default, we have 4 viewports: left, top, front, and perspective. To zoom in and out, use mouse scroll. To pan, click the middle mouse button and move around. To orbit, click Alt plus the mouse middle button and move around. To change the active viewport, just click on it. It's better to use right-click if you have something selected, otherwise it will be unselected. You will see a yellow stroke around the active viewport. Let me create a box to show you other options. I will explain exactly how to create objects later. Now, you can see the difference between viewports more clearly. If you click here, you can change the perspective of the viewport. For example, from top to bottom view. A faster way is to use a shortcut. You can see shortcuts here. To change the view to perspective, just click P on your keyboard. If you pan away from the object, you can zoom to the selected object by clicking Z on your keyboard. Here, you can change the viewport's layout. You can add a couple of layouts you use the most often and quickly switch between them. If you want to undock a panel, right-click on it and uncheck it. If you want to add it back on, right-click on an empty space and check it back. Click here to change the preview from wireframe to default shading. Here, you can change it from default shading to wireframe. To quickly switch between them, use the F3 shortcut. Use the F4 shortcut to add edges to the shaded preview. I will add some segments to the box so you can see it better, but don't worry about it for now. Again, F4 switches between these views. To maximize the viewport, use Alt plus W shortcut. To come back to the previous layout, use the same shortcut. This will maximize the active viewport, so you have to select it first if it's not active. You can also use this cube to change the view. If you are in perspective mode, the preview will stay in perspective. You have to switch to the top view, for example, to change it to an orthographic view. If you are in the top view and you orbit around, you will be in orthographic mode, not perspective. The difference between orthographic view and perspective is primarily in the way they depict a scene or object. Orthographic view, also known as parallel projection, is a method of representing a 3D object or scene in a way that preserves its true shape and size without any distortion due to perspective. On the other hand, perspective is a method of representing a 3D object or scene that takes into account the way objects appear to the human eye in real life. You can also turn the grid preview off. To do so, click G on your keyboard. Use the same shortcut to turn it back on. See you in the next lesson.